been working hard around the clock to be able to get us the results that we have today. They worked long into the night to be able to provide Calgarians the assurances that this election was properly run, and fully support the process playing out.
Jeromy, if these results do hold and you are indeed the mayor, what do the next several weeks and months look like for you as far as specific priorities that you look to move on?
Well, as a candidate for office, we put on the table the most detailed platform ever in any municipal election in Canada. It spoke to mobility, it spoke to public safety, to affordability, to housing. And I'll be looking to that as the roadmap for the first 100 days. But on a practical level, our next mayor is not going to have to be just the quarterback. They're also going to have to be the coach, the mentor, the captain. So I'm very committed to working alongside this new city council to listen and learn from them in terms of what they heard in terms of the priorities of Calgarians. So while I have a very concrete and robust platform specifically around public safety and household affordability, I also want to be able to create this together with this new council.
Well, on that note, we could have upwards of 10 or 11 rookie councillors. You were once in their shoes. What did you learn in your first several months as a councillor that you hope to pass along to a very, very rookie councillor?
Well, I'm so grateful to be in this position because I feel like I can offer a lot to the incoming city councillors. All of these are incredible leaders in their own right. They are the best candidates chosen by Calgarians from every single ward, every single corner of the city. So I'm very committed as Calgary's next mayor to take their ideas and champion them, to be able to support them, provide the mentorship. Obviously, it's a lot like drinking out of the fire hose. There's a lot of folks who come from every single walk of life, every single corner of the city, every sort of different workplace profession. For me, I do believe I have an advantage coming into the mayor's office, having served previously as a city councillor, and I'm going to see a lot of my job in terms of helping make their job easier, in terms of making sure that they have their ideas put on the table, that they get a fair sounding, and that ultimately they succeed so that Calgarians succeed.
Calgary mayors have often had a fractious relationship with the Alberta government. What are you expecting with the mayor's?
Well, I've sought and received a mandate from Calgarians to partner with the provincial government when it's in the interests of Calgarians, but also to push back when it's not. And that's really the message that I have in terms of working collaboratively with both a Liberal Prime Minister and a Conservative Premier. My job as mayor is to report to Calgarians exclusively. My role is to advance the best interests of our city, and there's an incredible amount of areas of common ground that we've been able to identify in these early days with the provincial government, and also lean back in terms of my own experience having worked together with the provincial government as CEO out at Glenbow Ranch to save Glenbow Ranch and Haskayne Legacy Park from flooding. In that case, we asserted ourselves, we found a better solution for the province that ultimately ended up getting what they wanted, but also protecting the park. So that's my focus as Calgary's next mayor, is to work collaboratively with the provincial government to address the pressing issues of safety and affordability.
You're not concerned about standing up to them if the matter gets up?
Well, that our next mayor is going to have to be somebody who is able to push back or partner, depending on the circumstances. And for me, running as an independent, not with a political party, that allows me that latitude to actually look at the evidence, look at the issue, to determine how to approach that. Because at the end of the day, Calgary is Alberta's largest municipality. When Calgary succeeds, Alberta succeeds. And I know that is a message that the Premier hears loud and clear.
Jeromy, aside from a title change, how did your time here at Calgary City Council change from your time as a councillor?
Well, I'm so grateful to be back here in the first initial stages of the onboarding, reconnecting with many of the colleagues I had the opportunity to work alongside with as city councillor. Obviously, with a citywide mandate, you have the ability to be able to speak to a broader cross section of issues. So for me, it was very important as a member of council to advocate for my constituents, to pick up the phone, to be engaged at the street level. And that's a commitment that I'm going to continue on as Calgary's next mayor, to be available to Calgarians, to listen, to learn from the community and the big challenges that we're facing. So, it's more complicated than just a job title change, but I'm so incredibly honored and grateful for the trust that Calgarians have placed in me.
And on blanket rezoning, you pledged to repeal it. How do you plan on getting your council colleagues on board on that plan?
So I'm so grateful to have run in a very robust housing plan Yes, it speaks to the need to repeal blanket rezoning. We're going to be starting the initial conversations about the mechanics of that with the incoming council, but it's very important to also focus on the replacement approach. It's so crucial as Calgary continues to grow to be a city of 2 million people that we still have the adequate housing, services, and infrastructure. So yes, we will be getting as soon as possible on the process to repeal blanket rezoning, but we can't stop there. We have to be working to restore certainty across the board, not just for homeowners, but also for renters, for the nonprofit community, for builders, as well as city administration, so that we can continue to build the housing that's required, but at an affordable price point. I wanted to recognize Mayor Gondek yesterday evening as a person, right? You often see politicians in the public light. You see them through the context of the decisions they make at City Council. Obviously, Calgarians have spoken in terms of the direction that they would like to see. They've spoken about the need for a new direction, a new path forward for a city. But it was very important for me to recognize the human being, right? For me as even prior to me 10 years ago having ran for city councillor, Mayor Gondek was not mayor at the time, but she was one of the people that I had reached out to. And I felt that it was important to recognize her service, especially given her leadership happened at a particularly trying time coming out of 2021 during COVID. So again, I wish outgoing Mayor Gondek all of the best. I thank her for her leadership, and I'm thankful for the mandate that Calgarians have given me to be able to listen and act on safety and affordability.
Just the last couple days of the campaign and last night, what felt different in 2021?
Well, last night, looking out into the room, it was amazing. I saw folks who had supported me for the last 10 years. I saw coaches, I saw mentors. I saw people who were in the room with me when I lost in 2021. And I saw also a broad cross-section of Calgarians who are new to this coalition, new to this campaign. And that really filled my heart. I know that I'm at a point now that I wasn't 10 years ago in terms of being able to speak to a broad cross-section of Calgarians, to be able to work with both left and right, progressives and conservatives to get things done. And that's my commitment as Calgary's next mayor, is to leave the ideology at the door and to focus on the results, particularly around safety and affordability, and how we can continue to be the most welcoming city in Canada.
That's it, folks. We can wrap it up. First scrum outside City Hall.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for the trust that you've placed in me, Calgary.